You're watching Good News Catholic TV. Zabeen se Asman tak. I'm your host Jasmine Joseph, and I welcome you in this new segment, Sunehery. And today we're going to get to know about a very great personality who was born on 27 February 1927, and he's now completing his 91 years. He's not other than a very Reverend Father Rev Melito Dias. Welcome, Father, to this segment Sunehery, and it's a pleasure being here and taking your interview. Okay, Father, as we all know, you are blessed with such a great age, 91 years. So how was your experience in this parish, and would you like to share anything with us?
I have been in many parishes, and I have been in all mostly teaching line in all the big schools of the Diocese of Karachi, starting from grammar school Quetta, and in St. Patrick's High School I was 11 years teaching, plus I was a hockey coach, plus I have been a scout master, plus I've been teaching in a few subjects and also in charge of discipline. And so in St. Lawrence's School for a little while, and what is the other schools here in Karachi, all the English-speaking schools. So mostly in St. Pat's. And of course I'm in charge of the few Urdu schools that are attached to many parishes.
Thank you, Father. Okay, how many years it have been for your ordination to the priesthood?
I was ordained in 1954, so that makes 64 years I am a priest.
That's
for 64.
64 years. Okay. Father, where you was appointed first after the priesthood?
After the priesthood, I was appointed in Quetta Seminary for 5 years. From there, I was appointed in St. Patrick's School, and I was also attached to Karangi Parish. That was jungles those days, all deserted place, not like today. That same place has got two parishes. It was all one. And both Karangi Creek and Karangi Township, they have come up. When I go there sometimes, I find it's become a big city, a town, compared to what it was. Those days it was all deserted and no lights on the road.
Established, yes.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's established and
it's become very nice. A lot of people are staying there.
Father, as you're saying, you're a very good hockey player, and hockey is a national game. So you have played internationally or nationally level?
Yeah. Yes. You see, that time Pakistan was not in the being. We had a Sindh team, and we used to have provincial tournaments. So as a schoolboy, I was selected to play for Sindh team. We had to go to Calcutta, but unfortunately I decided to become a priest, so I had to go. I went to Sri Lanka. So I only put on the colors of Sindh. But when I was posted in Quetta, they found I was a good player, so they had selected me, and I think I won more cups as a priest than as a schoolboy. In Quetta, we used to win 1 or 2 tournaments, and I used to play with Father Joseph Cadero, who became a cardinal, and we used to play together. So I enjoyed playing hockey. Here on the KPI ground, when I was playing for some tournament, I got a hit, and I have a fracture on my hip bone. That is why I am limping even till today. I never had an operation. Those days they never had operation of changing the hip bone. so I never went for surgery. And so I can't walk straight on account of it. I can't bend to pick up anything, but otherwise I enjoyed my life by sports, and I played many matches. Those days before partition, we used to have intercommunal tournaments. We had a Goan team, we had a Jewish team, we had a Hindu team, Muslims, and rest 5, 6 different communities or communal. We had a tournament called every year. So I played for that, and I also had a little army training in the Second World War. We had the Karachi Auxiliary Force. So I learned the Bren gun, the Sen gun, the Honey Brigade, and I'm a bugler. I think I still got some breath to blow my own trumpet. So I enjoy watching parades because I had some experience of having the rifle drill. And at that time, Tunisia victory, just after the ending of the war, we went through the streets of Karachi. I was only 16 years old, and I carried that rifle. I had to put my 18, because you should be in 18 for the army.
Was it legal?
So I was only 16. But anyway, I enjoyed it, and we did a lot of army training under British officers. And
it seemed you was a very active boy.
Well, yeah, I enjoyed, yes.
Yeah.
You know, being scouts, I have seen all the good places of Pakistan. I did my wood badge course as a scout master. So except Gilgit, I think other places I have seen. Swat and Abbottabad.
Northern places like
all the good places in Pakistan. And it's very cheap scouting. You pay one ticket and go both ways, and you have a scout connection.
Mountain climbing and camping and all.
Camping, yeah, we had very good camping. I took 8 boys to Afghanistan, to Kabul. So it's a believe or not story. We charged the boys 120 rupees per boy. Going up and down, khana, pina, sab kuch, only 120 rupees. Because scouting is a science of outing. So we did a lot of sightseeing. And I remember now when I read the papers of Afghanistan and so on, it reminds me of my trip to Afghanistan. Years ago, in the 60s or so.
Father, as you have the experience of teaching and scouting, what do you suggest to the school boys that what they should do? Should they take part in scouts or physical activities like this?
I would encourage all the boys, please join scouting, because it's such a good organization. It makes no distinction. No, we live together like one family, living in a tent, you know, on the hills for days together, going to ziyarat, putting a tent there at Khalifat, the highest mountain in Balochistan. So go there and spend the night there, then come down. So I have to learn all the trades, first aid, and if a boy falls and breaks his hand. So I always used to send the boys to the Red Cross to learn first aid. And I remember a boy broke his hand climbing. The boys at once put splints and tied him up. And only next day, opportunity to take him to the doctor. So it's great.
Father, what have been some of the greatest joys for you as a priest?
Oh, being a priest, you meet a lot of people. And that is wonderful. All kinds of people. Plus your own community. And get an opportunity to to be welcomed by all the people. I did a lot of visiting also. Most of the boys who I teach have been to the house. The teachers, whether it was Eid or Christmas. At Eid I went to all the Muslim teachers who are celebrating Eid, and Christmas time to the teachers, Christians. So it is great. Teaching is great fun. A good contact with people.
So Father, would you like to share something about your vocation? How you got to know, Acha, I have to go for priesthood?
You see, a vocation to the priesthood is something mysterious, I would say.
Yes.
It's difficult to put it in words. Why I became a priest. I love sports. I liked dancing. I liked skating. I used to play hockey on skates, put on skates, roller skates. So becoming a priest is a call. It's nobody, even those who are priests, if you ask me, I'm 64 years a priest, why I became a priest, I would not be able to give you an answer. It's a kind of call, mystery, that nobody will be able to express their own vocation for that. So, my mother was a very religious woman, and maybe that's why, as I told you, my sister became a nun, but she died in Madras.
Father, let us know something about your family members.
My one sister was teaching in St. Pat's School. She finished 50 years teaching there. Another sister was teaching in St. Joseph's Convent. She also finished 50 years there. The one who taught in the convent has expired. The one who was teaching in St. Pat's, she's still living. She's I think she's younger than me, so she'll be in her 80s. And my two brothers became engineers, and they migrated to Goa during the Portuguese time. That was, Goa was under the Portuguese. Now it has become a part of India. So he died and his family there. My sister-in-law was the secretary of the Red Cross in Pakistan. She represented at that time Pakistan in the United Nations. She died in her 90s, I think she died. But she was very social-minded, and when she saw anyone in need, she would worry her a long time. If she visited anyone who was old, she would be disturbed. She would, if there's somebody looking for a job, she would be thinking of how to give that person a job. She was very social-minded. When she went to Goa, even in her old age, she was getting some prizes for her social work. A very old lady, but she's still the social work. And my nephew also, they became very social-minded. There was one example, there was a dog that fell in a dry well, and nobody was going to. My nephew went down and brought that animal out. They were very fond of animals also. So that's the type of people they were. They wanted a bus stand because it was raining too much. They used to ask my niece there my sister-in-law to go and use your influence and get a bus stop here. So like that, they were very social-minded.
Although, how would you relate the church of your times and to the church of today's time? Like, so many changes have come from that time till now. So how would you relate?
Well, I'm living with the times, and sometimes I want to compare, but it's not fair to compare, because things are different now to what it was there. Those days with 1 paisa, there were 16 annas in a rupee. We had rupees, annas and paisa. So with in 1 anna there are 4 pice. So with 1 pice you could get 13 gold kapas. You know, put in tamarind water and eat. So with 1 pice, 13 gold kapas. If I had 1 anna, 1 pice for you, 1 pice, I could give you 13 gold kapas and still have 2 annas in my pocket, 2 paisa in my pocket. Those days when we went to the cinema, the lowest seat was 4 annas. So how can I compare this today? I worked because, you know, after we did our metric, our results would take 3 or 4 months to come because they were going to Bombay. We were under the Bombay presidency. So we were doing nothing, and our parents would say, "What are you doing? Take work, we are waiting for results." So I worked in those days rationing. So I worked in the ration office. I got 60 rupees salary. And it was good. If I had 5 rupees, I could take you to a restaurant and give you paya and so on, very nice, and still have money for in my pocket. A very cheap time. I remember 2 annas, a dozen of bananas. So if I got 1 paisa, I got 2-3 jams, you know. So 1 paisa would fill my pocket with a gram. Now how can you compare that with today's?
What changes have been coming to the church? Like the people, the priest, or?
First of all, in my first 10 years, I think, of priesthood, I was saying the Mass in Latin, Dominus Vobiscum. They go on the basti and say Dominus Vobiscum. What a difference to say Khudawan aapke saath hai, aapke saath bhi ho. When I was in Quetta, I was told that for Christmas I would go to Chaman for the Christmas. I was disappointed because I wanted to be in Quetta. They were sending one priest to Quetta, one to Pishin, one to different places there. So I went to Chaman. It was the first time I saw snow on the ground. I reached there, but then I said, I don't know any Urdu. But the parish priest said, we typed a sermon for you in Roman Urdu, and we gave copies to each priest. So it was in Roman Urdu. I put it in my pocket and went. I put a nice young man I was with a nice black cassock and a stench. We went over the snow, enjoyed it. The people there in Chaman there was a small room. I slept a little. A midnight mass, 12 o'clock. So I got up to say mass. It was still in Latin, so no problem. When the time for sermon came, I took out that paper, you know, and first time reading it, big words like a klauta, beta and all, I don't know a word what I was saying. But the end of the sermon, it was, ईद वदालत के मौके पर मैं अब सबको ईद मुबारक कहता हूँ. I said all that, and the people said, आपको भी मुबारक. I got such a shock. I thought I made a big mistake. I said, what am I to do? What to do? Then after a little while I realized that they were saying Happy Christmas. So I was happy. But I think I still got that paper just for remembering. Now I can understand some of the things that I read without understanding. One of those Klauta Betas stuck in my mind, and Mubarak. But our second language in school was Latin. So nowadays it is Urdu or Sindhi, you know. Those days we had no Urdu. It was a bit of partition. Pakistan had not come on the map as yet, so we were at that time.
Father, now today's world, church is facing so much of scandals.
Yeah.
So, say about this.
I would say that there are dark periods. This, for me, is a dark period in the history of the church, especially in Pakistan, but it's for all over. This is coming and giving a bad name, So we would say, write it off as dark pages in history. In history, there are always a dark period, dark ages and black days. So this is, we have to face it. We can't deny it. But I read somewhere that they said, when you hear these things in confession, you are supposed to go and tell. How can it be? No. They said you can't keep it a secret. If I tell a doctor my state of physical state, would you expect him to tell everybody? That's in confidence. If somebody speaks in confidence, because our office is such. You mean the lay people are not having 2 and 3 affairs with other people? Is that going to be spread abroad? I think that's not fair, no? So just because this is happening, you mean to say the other things are not happening? It shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't.
Yes, but it is happening. Maybe shows that human beings are human beings. They are not given to people to rule the church who are perfect human beings. They're not perfect. They have their faults. So that is one thing. Another thing is the bishops have got a lot of complaints of the priests, but their mouth is shut. You as a teacher know about the students, but you're not supposed to go and tell everybody or tell another person. No? I look at it like that. I come to you in confidence. I expect you to keep it quiet. These doctors know so much about us. If they're going to say that person is suffering from TB, don't get married in that family. No? Or this priest is doing something, pray for him, I think. You can't deny that the thing is, even the apostles, St. Peter denied Jesus. I don't know the man, he said, no? And still he became the
rock of the church.
The rock. Openly he said, not once but thrice. कसम भी खाया उसने. ये कैसी बात है? चलिए ठीक है. उस ज़माना में भी कमज़ोरी है चर्च में, कलीसिया में. We have to accept it. We can't deny it. God looks after us.
Okay, Father, what message would you like to give to the Church of Pakistan?
I would say we should be honest, live an honest and upright life in whatever you do or say, in whatever is your occupation, whatever you're doing, do it faithfully. You don't have to rob to earn. You have to be truthful and be responsible. Lead a life that is responsible, honest. Whatever is your vocation, live up to it. And if you find people are not doing their job, it doesn't mean you also have not to do the job. Follow good example rather than the bad. Now we are so used to corruption. So we do things which are wrong, which we think is a part of life. No? Paying people to do our job, that's become almost a rule. If you don't pay somebody, they won't open the door to see some officer. You have to pay the man at the pew, pay him, then you can go. That's the way it has become now. Now to change that is going to be very difficult, to start near Pakistan. So I'm thinking and asking myself, what am I doing to make this a better place to live in, positively. I'm living here for 20 years, I don't know who lives here, Hari Baba. Whether they are Muslims or Hindus or whatever it is. I carry on another 20, 50 years, I don't know who my neighbors are. Can I do something? I said, this road is not good, this is not my work. This has set me thinking, what can I do as a priest?
Thank you, Father, for being today with us, and it's been a pleasure knowing your services or experiences, and we pray that God may give you long life and good health, and you may serve God's people. Thank you, Father.
Thank you. If you ask me the last message, I would say the Christopher movement said it is better to light one candle than curse the darkness. If each one of us lights one candle, the whole room will be bright, no? So each one has to just light one candle. You do your duty, somebody else will do, the whole room will be full of light. So instead of cursing the darkness, we are kind of in the dark ages, listening so many things which are not good about the church, about the priests, and so on. So our final message would be, let each one light a candle rather than curse the darkness. Endeavor to keep straight. You at least do your duty. You at least live according to your conscience. You actually practice what you would like to preach. No? So we like a better world, okay. Make it. It's in our hands to do something. Not to say ये हमारा काम नहीं है, इमरान खान का है, वो ही नहीं पाकिस्तान बना सकता, ये कैसी बात है, ये नहीं नामुमकिन है। हम भी अपना काम ही करें, कहाँ भी हो, जिस जगह में है, जो काम करता वो काम ईमानदारी से करे, ये काफ़ी है। ये मोमबत्ती है, ये मोमबत्ती काफ़ी है। सब लोग कब साथ मोमबत्ती ऊपर करता है तो सबके लिए रोशनी मिलता है। Thank you. I'm very happy to recollect myself so many things of my past life. You made me remembered. Okay. I wish you all the best in this apostolate, because the media today is very powerful. No? And there is even power in the powerlessness. Like Mother Teresa, she is powerless. What does she have? But that powerlessness was very powerful. So everyone can do something. Thank you for taking time and coming here. God bless you.
As we have come to an end, we're concluding this segment here. And thank you all the viewers for watching. And it's been a pleasure knowing Father Rev Fr Melito Dias, his experiences, his services for this great church. We see you in the next episode. Keep watching Good News TV. Zameen se Asmaan.